was non-intentional use. He didn't do anything on purpose. This metabolite stays forever.
What a picogram is. It's taking a grain of salt and chopping it into 48 million.
Forever.
Welcome back, everyone, to the latest installment of the Picogram podcast, where we talk about the UFC and the fights that we watched over the weekend, and we'll just jump right into it. It was a great card last night. Honestly, had a few good cards in a row, which is sometimes uncommon for the UFC, so I can attest to that they have been doing great here lately. So we'll get into the first fight here. We have Juliana Miller and, whoops, let me bring it back up here. Jesus, great start here. All right, we have Juliana Miller and Ivana Petrovic. Do you remember much of this fight?
No, I missed the first three fights.
Okay, so this one, I remember Juliana from The Ultimate Fighter. She was on there. She's a very emotional person. She got into MMA from like being a victim of domestic violence. So like she's got, a lot of heart, if you will. She's not got a lot of fights, but I did not see her winning this fight, to be completely honest. She hasn't fought in like 2 years. And like, again, she's had probably under 10 fights, but ended up winning by decision. Quick breakdown. The first round, she held up Petrovic against the cage pretty much the entire round. The people started booing, which I will say, shout out to Iowa for coming out, because they were filled up by the first fight. This was the first fight of the night, and then it had a crowd of people booing in the first fight. So they really came out to show their support. But yeah, pretty much held her against cage for whole first of the round, of round one. And then the second round, she came out, got a takedown again pretty much right off the bat. And then she pretty much held her down the entire time. And I was thinking the entire time, man, if she would just punch this woman, she would probably end the fight. And she did not until the third round, where the pretty much same thing happened, where she got her standing, and she like jumped on her back from standing and took her down, and then started beating on her, and pretty much controlled the fight.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, hell yeah. Wrote a pretty good breakdown of that one. I don't know why I paid so much attention to that fight, but like I said, I remember Juliana Miller. Hope the best for her. Seems like a sweet person. She was just bawling her fucking eyes. Like, it's a very emotional person, but good for her. Picked wrong. I picked against her and was wrong. But we'll move on. You want to introduce this next one?
Yeah, sure, I guess. I thought you would, because I didn't watch them, so I don't.
I can give a quick breakdown of this one too.
This is Thomas Peterson.
Thomas Peterson and Dontel
Mays.
Pretty much a heavyweight wrestle fucking. Was a decision for Peterson. Wrestled him the whole time. Did not want any part of Dontel Mays' stand up. Almost got a first round submission, but just pretty much held him in top control the entire time. There was a point that Dontel Mays did a front flip to get away from him. I wrote that down. So I felt that was important to throw in there. But was pretty much a heavyweight wrestle fucking the entire time on that fight. So didn't miss much on that one. Could have been fireworks. That Thomas Peterson guy is good. Can strike and can wrestle. So I guess just wanted to cinch that win. And then third fight of the night, Gaston Bolanos, Kwang Lee. Pretty quick, decent fight. I mean, picked that one wrong too. First three fights picked wrong. Real skid mark. Yeah, so kind of just same kind of thing. They stood for a little bit, and then Quang just took him down, went right to his back, and just did work. So, I mean, nothing even too much to report on that one because it was over pretty quick.
Yep.
Yeah.
It was second round, 2 minutes in.
The second, when he came out, he just came out swinging. So Bolanos kind of felt the wrestling pressure, so he just came out swinging, but to no avail.
The next fight is the fight that I started watching the card on.
Introduce it for us.
Marina, god damn it, Rodriguez,
Marina.
Rodriguez, and Gillian Robertson. I know Gillian Robertson.
Jillian.
God damn it.
Pretty much another wrestle fucking. I mean, pretty grapple heavy card. First 4 fights. I mean, there was some stand up, but I mean, it was pretty much a domination of wrestling on either side through the whole first of the fucking card. So. Marina Rodriguez, she's had a lot of fights, fought a lot of good people. She always kind of loses to the tippy top of the spear. So, I mean, her championship aspirations are definitely in the rearview mirror. So, it wasn't a big surprise to see her retire after this fight. Jillian Robertson, I picked that one right with the second round submit. I said submission because she's, if you've ever seen her fight, just a submission ace. But she did TKO her on the ground trying to get her back. So, I mean, I wasn't too far off on that one. But that wasn't a bad fight. I mean, anytime Jillian Robertson fights and can grapple somebody, it's always fun to watch. But
It's pretty nice.
Yeah.
Second round TKO was pretty nice.
was pretty nice. Really looked like she knew what she was doing. Like I said, went for a bunch of submissions. Couldn't really. Marina did. She's pro on the ground too, so she did what she had to. She's more of a boxer, but Jillian Robertson's just too good on the fucking ground. She's got most of her wins by submission, so it's not a surprise. But we'll move on from that one. That one was over in the second. The next one, I think, was over in the first. You got the stats on that?
Yeah, first round, 2 minutes and 44 seconds in.
Yeah, this Russian guy, Azmat Bakayev and Ryan Loader. What can I say? Ryan Loader did not look good out there. Bakayev looked great. I don't know what the fuck to say on that one. Ryan Loader looked like a damn human NPC out there. Just, I don't know, man.
Well, this Russian guy ain't no joke.
Okay, so what I will say, what I do remember of this fight too, is Ryan Loader's got 7 fights or some shit like that, and the other guy's got like over 20. So I mean, it's not really fair to.
I think he was a double champ in LFA, the Russian guy.
Okay, so I mean, impressive. It's impressive he stuck around in LFA long enough to win 2 belts. Usually don't do that, but like I said, he's got over twice the fights as homeboy over here on the left. So. And he's mostly a wrestler, and that guy just did not let him take him to the ground and just pieced him apart. It was a pretty nice knockout.
Yeah, it's a very nice knockout.
Yeah.
It's very clean.
Yep. KO in the first round. Over in the first. What can you say? Moving on. We have Yana Santos and Misha Tate. Was a better fight than you would think. Because you would honestly think that Misha Tate would probably just wrestle fucker or grapple her to death, but didn't really happen. Clinch heavy first round, back and forth clinches. That's where Misha had most of her success. Second round, leg kicks out the ass from Santos, kept Misha at bay on that grappling shit. Kicked her so hard it wobbled her at one point. I don't know if you've seen that, but she got leg kicked so hard she almost fell. And I think Yana won the first 2 rounds if I had to look, but Misha came back.
First 2 rounds, and then Misha got the 3rd round on every scorecard. Every scorecard was the same.
Misha came back, but it was just a little too late to take the fight from that. So it's kind of how that one went. don't really see either one of these ladies beating the top tier of the competition anymore. Both on the older side. Yana Santos, formerly Yana Kunitskaya, she married Thiago Santos. Just tidbit information there, but everybody in that equation is getting older, so I don't know what that really does for either one of them besides get them paid. So decent fight, fought to a decision, is what it is. Picked that one wrong too. Picked Miesha Tate on that. So I went 4 for 2 on the prelims. Real impressive. But
Skid.
real skid. Some of those really surprising. Some of those I kind of was like, we're going to go for it. The Thomas Peterson, Dontel Mays, I kind of seen if Dontel Mays didn't get that early KO like I called, it was going to be a long night. And it was a long night. There was a point where he tried to Jorge Masvidal knee his ass in the face when he went for a takedown, but it just did not work. And then like I said, he did a front flip too. He went for a takedown. He just rolled on the ground like Dark Souls or something, and it just did not pay off. Looked rather hilarious.
I had to fucking roll out of there.
Yep. So we'll move on to
Main event.
the main card.
Main
Man.
card.
We know
So
what you meant.
Yeah, I'll announce the first fight.
You announced first fight.
Jeremy Stevens versus Mason Jones. Little Heathen Stevens.
The return of the Heathen. Weird. Was a little weird. I don't know. You want to look up if he's on a one-fight contract back, or if he signed like a real deal to come back?
I'm pretty sure it's a one-fight contract. I watched the
That's what I thought too.
after show, and that's what they said. They said it was nice to Dana to let him come and fight in front of his home crowd.
Yeah, and it was cool. Biggest pop of the night obviously was for Jeremy Stevens. He's went on a skid on his MMA career. He left for a while, did some dirty boxing, did some bare knuckle, had some success, beat Eddie Alvarez. So I mean, he's had his ups and downs in his career. He's had let me see. I wrote this down here. It's an insane 30. I think you said 35 UFC fights. So just let that sink in of how much of a legend this guy is. He's out there still doing it.
35 UFC fights, but is tied with the most losses with Diego Sanchez.
Yeah. Another record you don't really want, but you got most losses in UFC. And, he says it's tied. He's probably beat that with last night's loss.
I think last night's was the tie.
Was the tie? Okay. So yeah, it just doesn't have what it takes anymore. Just getting older, man, and it happens. And you hear me say it all the time on here, but it's just not gonna be the tip of the top anymore. He's gonna fight for money, and that's good for him. Good for him on it. He's done some crazy shit in his career. Some say that Josh Emmett is the hardest hitting 145er. Jeremy Stevens broke his face, so there's that. He's done work. He's had a career. He's made some money. I hope he's doing good. But he did not win last night. Mr. Mason Jones took the win on it. Very kind of a fucking disappointing win. When there was action, it was awesome. Both of them had split open. Jeremy Stevens bled like a motherfucker. Mason Jones's nose went crooked, but
flat. Went
just
straight fucking flat.
He just took that win home with him. He wanted to make sure he got that win because it was his return to the UFC as well. He was on a 4-fight win streak, 3-fight finish streak. So he's, just I guess wanting to cinch that fucking win. But
yeah, you gotta remember he did the Dana White special where he last 10 seconds of first and second round he went for a takedown and in a rear naked choke, both times, but straight takedown, rear naked choke, last 10 seconds of each round. And then final round just kept them on the ground the entire time. There's at least I think 2 minutes in the final round where they were just laying on top. He was just laying on top of Jeremy Stevens.
Yeah, just doing enough to where the ref wouldn't
break it up.
Yep. So, like I said, he just kind of wanted that win. Wanted to take it home with him, And he did. So say what you will, he won the damn fight. I picked Mason Jones by second round knockout. Didn't happen. Almost happened, but did not happen. He just won by decision. So
27-30. 27-30 on all scorecards.
So yeah, won every round on every card. So
Yep.
It's pretty much as bad as it gets, which we kind of seen coming. I don't know who really had faith in Jeremy Stevens to pull that off. Sounds bad to say that,
I mean,
but
I kind of
it's just-
did, but Jamie Stevens is one of my favorite fighters.
yeah, and yeah, you just thought with your heart. That's what happens. Next up. Oh, I want to add Mason Jones, when he wasn't going for a shitload of takedowns, he was throwing very clean body shots and hitting Jeremy hard in the body. And I want to say he probably did that because that is how Jose Aldo finished Jeremy Stevens, was with a KO from body shot. So he's probably seen that and wanted to do that. But other than that, was a mostly boring, control-y fight. Next fight, Cameron Smotherman, Sergey Side. Kind of a technical decision win. Really just Side mixes it up better. He had the better grappling. He had the better leg kicks and keeping him at bay. It was Smotherman pretty much chasing him the whole time, with Side just piecing him apart. He didn't really miss much from that. Don't really think that does, puts a win in the win column for Side, but nobody's going to highlight that fight ever. So we'll just move on from that.
You know the scorecards?
Yeah, what are they?
27-30, 28-29, 28-29. Every
So, yeah.
two people gave Smotherman the third round, and then one dude just gave it all to Sydney.
Yeah, it wasn't much happened.
Yeah.
Like I said, just pieced him apart. Did more on the points. Mixed, just a better MMA fighter, it seemed. Smotherman's more of like a heavy puncher. Was kind of just looking for that punch, and like I said, Side was kicking, going for takedowns, all around. Just better performance. Looked good. Looked real good. Next up, we got Montel Jackson and Daniel Marcos. Not a bad fight. Not a great fight. Jackson pretty much held him down against the cage pretty much the whole time. Marcus, switched it it says end of the third. He switched him up, and he kind of held him towards the end, but it just wasn't enough to win the fight. It's kind of a grapple heavy, hold against the cage fight, where Montel Jackson ended up edging him out. Marcos was undefeated. That was a lot of undefeated fighters losing their O's here recently. Just this year, you got Peyton Talbot, Daniel Marcos. There's another good one I'm missing too.
There's a fight that happened later tonight. Bo Nickel.
Yep. We'll talk about that. But yeah, a lot of undefeated fighters losing that O. It stings, but MMA, it happens. It is rare to ever see someone retire with that O. Khabib's the only guy I think we got. You can say John Jones, but he's got a loss. So,
Yeah, technical loss.
Technical loss, but the dude's always pushing the fucking limits on the rules, and
if that fight happened today, it wouldn't be a loss.
Wouldn't be a loss. But for all the eye pokes and steroid allegations that John's been through, I will count that elbow as a DQ for making up for all the other shit he doesn't get in trouble for, points deducted for. But yeah, like I said, just pretty much Montel Jackson holding Daniel Marcos against the cage until the third, where he probably was tired, and Marcos switched it up and did the same thing, but just didn't have as much time as Montel Jackson. So that's just the way that goes. But we'll move on to these last three fights will probably be the majority of where we talk about, because these were just
good fights.
fucking fantastic fights. Last three could have been on pay-per-view. So we got Santiago Ponzinibbio, Daniel Rodriguez.
D-Rod.
Great fight. D-Rod's came a long way, man. I remember seeing this guy back before all the tattoos, back before those shiny teeth, back before all that shit. He was always a grinder, but now he's really fucking piecing it together. And he's really living the life of a pro athlete, you could say. He looks like a baseball player or some shit that just started doing MMA, but D-Rod looked good. And now before I say that, I don't want to sound mean, but I don't know, Santiago looked good too, but he can't take the damage he used to take, man. And D-Rod looked good, but he didn't look great. Ponzinibbio was pretty much winning the fight until he wasn't winning the fight.
I mean, every judge has it. D-Rod, first 2 rounds.
Really?
Yeah, 10-10, 10-10, 10-10. All 3. Shows what you know.
Shows what I know. It looked to me like Ponzinibbio was way cleaner. Probably landed more. Daniel Rodriguez was doing way more damage, though, was the thing. And what probably won Daniel those rounds is he wobbled him. And he made it look bad. And Ponzinibbio stumbled and shit. And because Ponzinibbio was landing. It wasn't like it was a severe ass whooping or anything. It really didn't come down till the end that it looked real bad for Ponzinibbio. And me and you talked about just, Ponzinibbio getting up and looking like a drunk guy falling out of a bar. Just
stumbling
bad. D-Rod flexing in the camera. Ponzi in the back.
Yeah. End of the fight where he screams into the camera and he just stumbles through the background, dude. It's crazy. One of the craziest fucking 3 seconds in an MMA fight I've ever seen.
It's sad too, because I
motion.
always have liked Santiago, but it's we're getting to that point. We're getting to the end of the road. I see him probably retiring in the next couple fights. He's doing good. He's the Spanish commentary team, so he'll be fine. But I think he's got a job. He's got something lined up. He's good at it. It's that time. What's his record? Pull up his record. Let's go through his record real quick.
His record is he's 31.
It's been like
9.
It's like Neil Magny, like a Kevin Holland or something shit in there.
Yeah. Those are old fights. Fought Kevin Holland in 2023. Loss. Michael Pereira lost to a decision. 2022.
We just seen Michelle Pereira last week and not looking good either.
Jeff Neal.
There's no shame in that. Dude's good.
Yeah. Ling Jiling lost to
Leech.
him.
See.
Both got a loss to D-Rod, or both got a loss to Jingling, D-Rod and him.
How many losses in a row? Was that 3?
These ain't in a row. I skipped some fights.
So is he like win one, lose one, win one, lose one? That's kind of how it seems.
Yeah, almost exactly. Lost to Jingling, and won against Miguel Beza. Lost against Jeff Neal, and then won against Alex Moreno. Then lost against Pereira. So literally win-loss. Lost against Kevin Holland. Lost against... I think the guy's name is Muslim
Salikov. Muslim Salikov. Yeah, that guy's good, though. That guy can strike.
So he won against Carlson Harris. So he was on a 3-fight losing streak, won against Carlson Harris, and then lost against D-Rod.
So it's just really up and down. Not going to get you to the title picture. He may just be doing this to get paid. which no, don't take, don't let me talk you out of that. Make your money, dude, if you're making good money. But it doesn't look like your body can take the punishment anymore. Sometimes you're way more skilled in the striking aspect than these guys, and you'll do good there. But if you're getting a complete fighter like a Daniel Rodriguez, it's going to be pretty much lights out. So, Ponzinibbio, love you, buddy. But I say one or two more, man, and then just go do commentary. That's what you're shining at right now. But all around good work from Daniel Rodriguez.
Crazy
He's
knockout.
got a rap album
Beautiful
coming out
knockout.
too.
Dude does got a rap album coming out.
I wonder if that'll be in the rap album.
On the pre-show, Michael Chiesa said he will try to get one of those songs as his walkout for his next fight.
Michael Chiesa's next fight?
Yeah. He said my next fight. Apparently he is in training camp for a fight coming up.
That's another one. It's like, man, once you hit that desk, once they give you that desk spot,
You get a little comfortable, don't you?
You get a little comfortable. And hope the best for you. But another one that just ain't winning fights anymore. So once you start talking fights, you start losing fights. So I don't know. You would think it would make you more. But now Chiesa, great grappler, but has always been on the lower end of the spectrum on the rankings list and shit like that.
Stand up. He's
when he
all
got
right
to
at stand
welterweight,
up, but
I wouldn't even say he is passable at stand up. He and for someone who's submission heavy and submission specialist, I've seen him get choked out many a time. So I mean, I don't know, which one he's training the hardest in. He shot through welterweight rather quickly, so that's kind of, he went on a streak there, but he was beating dudes like Neil Magny and just shit like that. I think he fought RDA or some shit, so he was fighting welterweights that were up in lightweight like him, or lightweights that were up in welterweight like him. So, but we'll move on from Michael Chiesa. He didn't even fight tonight, so
yeah.
We'll go to the next fight. Man, what a next fight!
Co-main event.
Renier de Ridder and Bo Nickel. What can we say about this fight that hasn't been said? We see this all the time. They shoot up a young guy, put him against a vet, and this is what happens. This is what happens. I called this fight Renier. I had him by first round submission. Didn't happen, but wasn't much longer than that in the second round that he just kind of showed you how much Bo is lacking in the hands. We kind of patted Bo up to the top like the UFC's been known to do, like, the fans call for and we've been known to do, but kind of seen this one coming from a mile away. Renier de Ridder, he's had some questionable moments in the UFC. He's had some questionable moments throughout his MMA career in total. He's been known to give up in corners and shit. But this is kind of another one like we were talking before, where Travis Loder and Bakayev, where one has over 20 fights and one has under 10. And you kind of just see the gap there. De Ridder, not great at stand-up, but looked like fucking Alex Pereira out there against Bo Nickel. So, kind of just was a perfect storm for De Ridder. That was kind of like kind of giving him a win, if you ask me. But was a beautiful knockout. Put him in the corner. But again, like I said, you can tell how far Bo is away from the premier level striking. Dude wasn't even blocking punches. Wasn't moving his head, wasn't blocking punches. Just tagged him 4, 5, 6 times in a row, and then Bo would fire back with one big punch, telegraphed this shit. Wasn't blocking at all. Just kind of what can you say? You know, it is just what it is. Bo will be back. Bo learned a lot from this. You learn more from losses than you do your wins. Bo wasn't learning. You know, he got experience with Paul Craig going 15 minutes. He's got a knockout over Mearshart. Now he has a loss. So now he's got the perfect, he's got every side dish on that mill of success. So he's on his way. He'll be back. He's a champion. Will he ever be a UFC champion? I don't know. Middleweight's a tough fucking crowd. Will De Ritter ever be a middleweight champion? I don't know. How old is De Ritter?
Technically, he was a middleweight champion, just not for.
Technically,
He's
I'll call him
34.
that. 34. So he's got like 2 years to make this shit happen. And he could. He called out Sean Strickland. Great call out. I would love to see that fight. Maybe make Sean use some of his wrestling, some of his grappling that you never see. Because both these dudes move forward and kind of track down their opponent, try to break their opponent down. But Ranier is more to get close to you and grab you, and Sean's more just, deep kick you and jab you to death. So, would be a great fight. Would get him up to the top. Him versus Duplessis would be a fun fight. That's just two weird styles mixing up.
Will fight
just-
awkwardly.
Would be a weird fight. Look like two drunk guys fighting or something. But I don't know. Good job, RDR. RDR. You did it, bud. You did it. You knocked out a rookie. But I digress. Great fight. Again, two good knockouts in a row. Bo's knockout wasn't as vicious. Kind of just standing TKO'd him. Right? I'm
Liver
remembering
shot.
that right. Huh?
Liver shot.
Yeah, and then crumpled him and he was on the ground. Yeah, so yeah, it could have been worse. Could have been worse. But that's just the way it is when you're not defending yourself. You're gonna get hurt no matter how fucking tough you are. But we'll move on to the main event. Corey, the Sandman, Sandhagen, and Davison God of War Figueiredo.
What a fight.
Weird fight. Weird in the sense that Davison Figueiredo did not fight anything like Davison Figueiredo.
No.
Went for leg locks constantly, went for takedowns constantly, which I guess I understand because it's Corey Sandhagen. He's a, bounce around kind of Dominic Cruz, herky-jerky kind of guy. But
Picked a hell of a time since Sandhagen has changed his training and is now training for leg locks and
yeah,
ground game. So he's changed his training up.
was weird. It because he had Uriah Hall in the corner, like leg locks, or not Uriah Hall.
Ryan Hall.
Wow, Ryan Hall.
Uriah
two,
Hall.
two drastically different people. Ryan Hall, and he, defended perfectly against these leg locks that Davison Figueiredo was throwing up for some reason. Didn't really understand what he was. I guess I get what he was going for. He sees some big long legs on Sandhagen, and was like, you know what? I'm taking it home with me. But just did not. It's like Sandhagen. It's almost like Sandhagen had a spy in his camp. Was like, oh, he's practicing leg locks. Let's get Ryan Hall in here.
I was gonna say, it's
So-
pretty crazy too that Figueiredo was throwing all these leg locks, and Sandhagen wins by leg lock. It says TKO here, but
Yeah.
didn't he tap to an injury?
So it was technically TKO from injury, is what the verdict was. But it was weird because he did tap, and Sandhagen said he meant to do it. He
On
said,
the
you know, when you're in 50-50 like that, he goes,
Yeah.
if you don't know what you're doing, you're going to get your knee bent backwards. And it looked like Sandhagen knew more of what he was doing and bent his knee backwards.
Well, Ryan Hall is known as the master of 50-50, and they say he is. I don't remember if they said he created it or if he's just like the number one guy on the planet with it, but he is that. You know, he that is
He's
what he's
that.
known for, and he had him in his camp and was training that exact leg lock.
Yeah. I mean, that's what Ryan Hall beat BJ Penn with, was a rolling up leg lock. Even though he rolled to a leg lock. Heel hook, to be exact.
The scorecard says he won by submission due to injury.
He did technically tap to pain. But again,
That's-
it looked like Corey kind of knew what he was doing. He knew he saw he had his leg like that, and he saw if he kind of just went forward, it would bend it, you know, to the side, and it definitely bent it to the side. Figueiredo immediately started like just screaming in pain. Tapped, and then Corey started bashing him. But Corey, commendable to Corey because he did hit him a couple times, felt the tap, and then looked over at the ref and was like, "You better come get it," and then hit him a couple more times. You know, you got to. So, but then looked at the ref and was like, you know, any time now, man, he's tapping. And then they broke it up, and ultimately was the end. So yeah,
Interesting fight. Interesting
Interesting
what comes
fight.
up next for Sandhagen.
yeah.
We talked about it last night when we were watching the fights. Don't know about Marab. That would be a tough fight. But if he is serious and like in his post-fight interview, he's talking about how he wants to evolve completely as a fighter, and if he keeps doing that, he might have a chance against Marab if he can stop Marab's takedowns.
What if he leg locks Marab? Could happen.
I know
Marab training leg locks? Doubt it.
Yeah. He said something very interesting too last night in a post-fight interview where he was like, he got comfortable where he was, and then he had a loss, and it made him rethink everything. And he said that's what happens to champions. As champions get to the top with their they get to the top, and then they don't evolve as a fighter after that. He says that his new plan as a fighter is to evolve every single camp. He wants to be the best mixed martial artist, so he's changing as much as he can to be better. That's exciting because, like I said, he's not wrong. People go become champ and then don't change what made them champ, and then they lose.
The best example against that and what Corey Sandhagen is probably striving to be is like a George St. Pierre. That guy still to this day trains. I mean, he goes and he'll go fly and go train with Danaher. He'll go fly to the other side of the world and train with the best striking coaches. He'll go do Muay Thai in Thailand. I mean, he just still wants to he's a martial artist, loves the game, loves the knowledge that it brings, and I think Corey Sandhagen is very much up that same alley, and possibly like with his size for bantamweight, maybe even at like a physical advantage that maybe GSP didn't have. Because towards the end there, GSP wasn't the biggest welterweight. I mean, he even went up and won the 185 belts. I mean, you know, people could argue that he's not like he's undersized, but there was talks that he could go down to 155 and fight Khabib, and people were saying that it could happen, and he was saying it could happen. So
I think that fight almost happened.
It almost
but then
happened.
Something changed, and that's why he went and fought Bisping.
Yeah. Well, he was supposed to fight Tyron Woodley for the welterweight, but Tyron Woodley fought Damian Maia and had the worst performance in a title fight of all time. And
that was it. Yeah.
And then Dana White said he'd never put Tyron Woodley in a main event again, and he never did. And they gave the GSP fight to Michael Bisping, which, you know, may have been an easier fight for him. Honestly, I don't know. Maybe not. Coming after that was Kamaru Usman to Tyron Woodley, and we all remember what happened there. And can you imagine what GSP would have did to him? So, but yeah, big thing's gonna happen for Corey Sandhagen. Does he beat Merab? Corey Sandhagen we saw last night.
Could.
There's an argument.
Yeah. I think there's definitely a chance. And especially if he just gets better at the ground game and wrestling.
Because Davidson tried to wrestle him the whole time, but he's no Merab. Davidson Figueiredo's not Merab.
So. No Merab. No one's Merab.
No one's Merab.
Merab's barely Merab.
But I would have faith in like a Sandhagen as coming up with a weird game plan. Kind of knowing what Merab's going to do. He's going to be close to you the whole time. He's going to be up in your face. What can we do with that? So Corey Sandhagen, student of the game. So, yeah. But that, another great card. Like I said, they're putting on a lot of good cards in a row. So as it's a good time to be a UFC fan. I don't know if they're trying to pad the numbers for this new deal coming up. For the Netflix deal, if they're trying to look good. But they're doing good. They're doing good fights. They're turning out all right. Like I said, the first 4 fights of that card was kind of wrestle fucking, but ain't gonna shit on it.
Still an entertaining card.
So we got some time left. Let's break down the next card, which is a UFC pay-per-view. We'll do that real quick, and we'll wrap this son of a bitch up. I'll just go over the big fights.
Main event, main card.
We'll do the main card. We'll go through and see if we recognize any of these people. Brad Katona.
Everybody.
A lot of them, yeah. Brad Katona, cool to see him back. He is the first fight of the night. God, Katona's in and out of UFC. Went on the Redemption series of Tough. Came back, won. He's been in ever since. But I don't know if the UFC likes him very much. So we'll see if they keep him around if he loses. One fight I'll talk about real quick is the Ion Cutelaba, Modestas Pakauskas. That's a cool fight. Both guys kind of on skids. So that might be, which they may hang on to Cutelaba because he brings fireworks. But yeah, Pakauskas had some bad knockouts, but he's on the comeback. He when he started, man, he got fucking annihilated by Jimmy Crute. And then Olia Jacek knocked him out, or no, decisioned him. But then he got Khalil Roundtreed. And I think that was like Khalil's first or second fight back. His first fight back from Muay Thai fucking training was Eric Anders. And he leg kicked and just looked like a Muay Thai fighter against Eric Anders. And then he went on to fight like Bakauskas and just fucked him up. Fucked him up bad. But, and then Cutelaba, we all know Cutelaba. He's had the Hulk. He's had some great wins, some hard losses. Losses to the champ twice of the division. Kind of, I don't know if you remember his first loss to Ankalaev. They had to redo that fight because Cutelaba, when he was getting hit, he kind of fake wobbled, and the ref called it TKO for him faking it, like he was wobbled and trying to lure him in a little bit. And you can kind of tell he wasn't really doing it, almost like he was like joking with him, but the ref called it. So,
great refs.
Happened. Yeah, he's been on a little bit of a skid, on a little bit of a comeback of the skid. So that's cool. That's cool. Let's see here. Look at a couple more. Mike Malott and Charles Radke. Is this in Canada? Do you know? Look up where UFC, I think it's 315 is. Yeah. Mike Malott, Charles Radke. I don't know why I'm thinking it's Canada. I don't know why.
Montreal, Quebec.
Okay. So I'm right. Okay, yeah. So Mike Malott, Canada guy. He's on usually every Canada card. Dude's good. Charles Radke, Dude's good. That's a fun fight right there. That'll be a good one. And then Jessica Andrade, Jasmine Jasdavicius. That'll be an all right fight. Andrade, a little bit of a slide. Jasdavicius on a little bit of a come up. So we'll kind of see where they meet. Look at that. 1, 2, 3, 4 in a row. And some names. Cachoeira, Ariana Lipsky, Maya Brena Silva, which fought for the title not too long ago, beat her. So she's got some good wins. We'll see if she can hit that upper echelon of fighters. But we'll go to the main card real quick. Look at that. Okay. Looky here. So this fight's already been called off, but we'll talk about it real quick. Benoit Saint Denis and Joel Alvarez. Are you familiar with Joel Alvarez?
Joe Alvarez?
Joel Alvarez,
I am not.
the Spaniard. Dude's good. Dude's fun to watch. I mean, look at this right here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 finishes in a row right there. And then he had a loss. But then he had another finish, 2 more finishes, 3 more finishes, 4 more finishes. And these are guys like Joe Duffy, Thiago Moises. Fought Sarukian, lost. He got a TKO from Sarukian, which ain't crazy. Kind of ruined his trajectory there, but he came back, got a finish against Mark DeCasey, Elvis Brenner, Drakkar Close. So when this guy is winning, he is putting people unconscious.
Yeah.
All his wins, look at this right here. 0 of 22 wins or decision. There's 0 of 22 wins or decision.
It's one decision loss. So one time he's went to decision, he lost.
Yep. But when he's winning, so that's how I know Joel Alvarez. He pulled out of the fight. I don't know if it's an injury or illness.
Hand injury.
Hand injury. Fuck. Is what it is. That would have been a banger. Saint Denis came on the scene, sliding in like a bat out of hell. Rose to the top real quick. But also another guy who, when he's winning fights, he is finishing fights. So he's, he had 5 finishes in a row. Fought Dustin Poirier. Lost to Dustin Poirier. Came back just like Joel Alvarez, had a comeback win from Mark DeCasey. And then he recently here lost to Moicano to a doctor stoppage. So that would have been a good fight. They'll probably put that one on another card coming up when Joel's hand gets better. Alexa Grasso's fighting Natalia Silva. It'd be an alright fight. Probably be I'm gonna have to say that Silva's gonna try to wrestle Grasso, which would be smart. Grasso's coming off that belt. She got them hands. Which I say that, but Grasso can wrestle her ass off too. So that's how she beat Shevchenko.
Yeah, she's
So
not
this-
bad on the ground.
Not bad on the ground. Not bad anywhere. She's world championship level. Natalia Silva on the come up. Damn, look at all that green. She's on a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Hang on, do those count? What are those? No, those count. So yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. 13 fight win streak. So that is probably why she is getting pushed to the top to fight a next champion, to see if she has what it takes to be the next champion. So that's a real Mike Tyson Buster Douglas moment right there of, does a champion still want it, ex-champion still want it, does the newcomer hungry enough to put it down? Because she looks like she has the skill. So it's really depending on what Alexa Grasso shows up. We got Jose Aldo fighting Ayman Zahabi. Do you know who Ayman Zahabi is?
Nope.
Do you know who Faraz Zahabi is?
Actually, yeah, I think I do.
That was GSP's coach.
Okay.
This is his younger brother.
Okay.
So another real turning of the guard. Pretty much does Jose Aldo still want to fight these young fucking killers? Or, I think Jose retired once, right? And came back? Does that
I
sound
think
right to
he
you?
was in talks to retire, but I don't think he actually did. I think he just took some time off.
Because I thought he retired and came back as a bantamweight.
He did, yeah.
Yeah.
He retired after losing to Marab in 2022. And then came back and fought Jonathan Martinez at UFC 301.
Okay, yeah, and he had 2 boxing matches after that. So I was like, what the fuck? There's some names in there. He had a draw at Game Bred Boxing with Jeremy Stevens.
That's crazy.
Surprised I missed that. That probably was pretty cool. Fought to a draw. So it either sucked or was awesome. Pretty much the math on that. So yeah, just fighting these killers. The Mario Batista, very a memeable win. You remember that fight with Mario Batista?
Yeah,
Literally just
one of the
worst.
worst fucking fights ever in the UFC.
yeah, just laid on him. Just laid on him on the cage. Should have been
So-
broke up, never did.
So goddamn boring.
Pretty goddamn boring. But yeah, that's a cool one. We'll see what Zahabi's got. Let's see if Zahabi's got any names under his belt. I know he's got Pedro Munoz and Basharat and Richie Lang, Ricky Tercios. So yeah, got better as he went up here. The Pedro Munoz is a good win.
Been fighting since 2017.
It's not that long. Who?
Zahabi.
He's got 2012 fight here.
That's not UFC.
Oh, he's been in UFC since 2017.
Yeah, I'm only looking
Yeah,
at
you're
UFC.
right. Had a win, came on, got 2 losses almost immediately. But then he's been on a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 fight win streak. So, with some names in there. His brother's one of the, I want to say one of the greatest coaches, but he's had some real, not to be mean, but people who weren't as great as his star pupil that made him on the Mount Rushmore of coaches. So you don't know whether to equate that to Firas Zahabi or to give that to George St. Pierre because it's not like every person Firas Zahabi trains is George St. Pierre. Then for the co-main, we got title shot with Ferro against Shevchenko. Ferro's kickboxer, so she cannot really grapple. So I'm going to have to assume, and all her wins are coming from edging people out and kickboxing. I do not see that happening against Shevchenko.
I mean, literally every single fight's a decision.
Yeah.
For her very first fight, first 2 fights in UFC were knockouts.
So if she goes back to her kickboxing roots, it's going to be a long night against Valentina Shevchenko. And then the main event of the evening, Mr. Bilal, remember the name Muhammad against Jack Della Maddalena. Yeah. It's a Bilal Muhammad pay-per-view faux show.
Makes you really
So
want to
this-
spend your money on it, don't it?
Yeah. Can't wait. Going to, but so here's the trying to be nice here. Bilal Muhammad has a way of winning. that somehow makes you not like the guy. I don't know what it is. I don't know.
Well, I mean, personality has a lot to do with it too.
Personality has a lot to do with it. He's kind of a douche. He can be a nice guy, but he's kind of fucking cornball. So I mean, it's just I don't know, man. What can I say about Bilal Muhammad?
Decision.
Remember the decision, Muhammad.
Decision.
He's winning though. I mean, I don't know what else to tell you other than he's still winning. He's got the belt in his hand.
You can win fights, but not fucking fans.
His highlight reel, his promo packages will never be cool looking. That's all I'm gonna say. He can apply pressure to people. He can, I don't know, he can look like he's controlling out there, and he can control the fight sometimes, but his damage output is just not there. He does not fucking hurt people. I don't know what it is. Like, it's just, he's got a way of fighting where he wins without doing anything. But on the other side of that equation, we got
He's got a loss to Jeff Neal. Sorry.
Bilal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
2019 lost to Jeff
Technically
Neal.
got a loss to Leon. We fucking poked him in the eye.
To draw. Draw no contest.
Here's what I'll say about Jack. Jack's gonna fucking bring this fight to this motherfucker. I don't know if you know about Jack. See those 2 losses?
I know a little bit about Jack.
Okay. Well, that 2 in that loss column were his first 2 fights. And since then, dude's on a 17-fight win streak.
It's not lost once in the UFC.
Not lost in the UFC. Only had 2 decisions. What, ever? 3 decisions ever. So he's out there finishing fights. He puts a pace on motherfuckers. He pushes forward. Marab likes to fake push forward. Bilal, which Marab kind of does it too. I mean, as a kind of a Freudian slip, huh? Rob kind of does the same thing. He's a Bilal with better cardio.
Both of his decisions were in 2023, back to back.
Yeah. Who were they against?
Basil Hazif
Oh, Hafez and Holland.
and Holland, yeah.
Hafez ain't bad. Hafez can hit fucking hard. So, I mean, I don't know if you've ever seen Basil Hafez, but he's pretty jacked dude. Hits hard as hell. Not a bad fighter. And then got Kevin Holland. And again, he's won these fights. We're kind of defending a decision. Which is crazy, but it's, yeah, this guy, he's a finisher, man. I think a lot of people don't have faith in him. I think he's definitely the underdog. I think a plus 250 underdog. So, I mean, a lot of people think that Bilal is just going to do what Bilal does and pressure this guy and beat him in a decision. So, that's one that's very interesting. I don't know which way I'm going to go with that one. Again, I don't pick fights until the day of or day before, so you can check in on that if you want to see who I picked before the fight. But that's a thinker. I'm going to think on that one all week. It's crazy that, that way about a Bilal Muhammad fight, but dude's been winning. I don't know what to tell you. Dude's got a way of doing shit that works for him, so can't really fault the guy for that. If he's, winning and making money. But I think that pretty much wraps this up. I mean, right on time with the end of the show there. This was a fun time. Had a good time. Thank you for listening. If you listened, you can see my Verdict MMA picks on Verdict MMA app or website. Abracabonkers is the name. Certified black belt. Working on that last stripe, baby. We're getting there. Did not do great tonight. Had some good picks, but this was not one of my better nights to showcase my fight picking capabilities. But we'll be back, and we'll do it all over again next week. I'm Nick. That's Luke. We appreciate you listening. We are the Picogram Podcast. Thank you. We're out here.
If you enjoyed this episode of the Picogram Podcast, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and follow us on Instagram at Picogram Podcast.